Here we are, season 4 finale, LOCPOD, the moment you've all been waiting for. It's finally about to end for a couple weeks anyway.
Are people happy or sad?
They're happy.
Are they?
They feel obligated. Some people do. They're like,
oh man, I'm listening to that for a month and a half.
Thank God this shit is
I think
over.
some people are sad though.
There's a couple people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John, my level seems low.
Yeah.
I think both of ours. Thank you.
You seem a little down, dude.
How's
I'll be
that?
honest.
Yeah, what's going on?
I messed him up right off the bat this morning.
No.
I noticed right when you said this.
I don't like being accused of illegal activity.
I know. See, so I have this bad habit of listening to the other station, WMCD. When I'm driving in, I just listen to it on the way here. It's like literally a 15-minute listen. And I get in here and I told Kevin right off the bat, you know, the general consensus on WMCD is that I'm out of control. I have no guardrails. I'm about to say something at any time that's going to derail my career and my Senate bid, and that I have no guardrails, meaning you three are not doing your job of holding me on the street.
It's free flow.
You just let me flow. And then specifically they mentioned that Kevin was a doobie smoking yes man.
What?
I said, he's not a doobie smoker.
How dare they?
Kevin,
I think that's pretty funny that especially she would say that because they don't. She doesn't know me from Adam. She doesn't know me from Adam.
Well, she doesn't know me from Adam either.
Yeah,
it doesn't
so
stop
for her to go on and say shit like that is just aggravating.
Kevin, she doesn't know me at all. She talks like she's the biggest expert in Tom McDermott in like Northwest Indiana, and she doesn't know me at all. Like we've literally never had a conversation in our life.
For her to say that to me about me, I think is pretty funny.
She said doobie smoking yes man.
I think that's hilarious.
Is that defamation of character?
I mean,
is that
whatever?
Kevin, don't be Spiros.
I'm not saying I am. I'm just saying
don't be Spiros.
You're a public figure.
For that clown to say that is.
She called you a doobie smoking yes man.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
You know why I take offense to it? Because I know you, and I think you're more likely to be a cokehead.
I've actually heard that before.
Because you don't sleep.
He doesn't sleep, right? You know what though?
I've heard that before. Like you've got to do coke.
I know Kevin way better.
I was like, nah,
outside of Jana,
I just can't sleep.
Outside of Jana and a couple other people, I know Kevin better than almost anybody, and he is way too paranoid to do coke. Like,
yeah, that's true. I always think of who's the guy?
Len Bias.
Len Bias. I always think of Len Bias. It's like I'm gonna do coke and I'm gonna have a heart attack and I'm gonna die
the first time.
That's my paranoia.
And then everybody will be like, Kevin was a cokehead.
I knew it all along.
And you're like,
he was
deep
a cokehead.
inside, it was the first time you ever did it.
Right.
You
no
unfortunately had a heart attack and died on the first time.
Exactly right.
But you go down in history as a cokehead.
Exactly right.
I know.
That is my fear.
So Kevin, I agree. Kevin's not a cokehead.
Well, the poll is going to tell us.
What are you doing?
What's
the poll?
Is Kevin more likely to be A, weed smoker, B, a cokehead, C, a caffeine addict, or none of the above?
Okay. I like that one.
All right. Take this poll, y'all.
See it all.
Yeah.
What a season 4 is off to a great. I mean, the season finale.
It's just annoying. You know, like we don't sit here and.
What did you
pick, Tom?
I picked caffeine addict.
Okay.
I'm not trying to encourage people, but like Kevin does stay up at all hours. I know he's not a cokehead. And I've observed over the many years I've known him, never observed him participate in illegal activities in Indiana or legal activities in Colorado, Illinois, Michigan, California. I've been all these places with you.
I would just say this about marijuana and me is that every time I smoke marijuana.
Marijuana and Me by Kevin Smith.
Is that I get so tired.
Did you just admit?
I much
you
prefer,
have done it.
Sure.
Interesting.
I mean,
oh, great.
Only at Dead Joe's in Illinois.
Well, I mean, it's college and after and whatever, down. You know? Yeah, in legal states, right? For sure.
Careful, Kevin. Careful.
What I'm saying is that
I'm trying to
just mute his mic.
Every time I smoke marijuana, I get so exhausted. I'm missing out on the fun. And I'm always about like, I gotta stay up because I gotta see what's going on. I gotta have all the fun. So I'm just a drinker.
Funny. I'm always the one that goes to bed at 10 o'clock.
Well, I don't know what that means.
I went to bed at 9:30 p.m. last night. 9:30.
Give me some bourbon.
But look at me right now. I'm like a bundle of energy. I'm like wide awake. I've been up for 2 hours, just like getting ready for the show. But yeah, I agree. Kevin Smith is not. I don't know. I'm not trying to persuade the audience. But
no, the poll results are in, and overwhelmingly they're saying a caffeine addict.
Oh,
so, yeah.
See, so you're not a doobie smoking yes man. I mean, that's the bottom line. Take that, Verley. He is not a doobie smoking yes man. According to our poll, he's a caffeine addict. Thank you. All right.
And I really only have like a half a cup a day, so there you go.
Nonetheless,
thanks, John.
The audience has spoken.
Thank you, LOCPODers.
That's right.
Yeah.
Is it possible that you're a vampire?
That could be too. You never know.
Jill, Kevin does not sleep though.
I know. Listen, I get texts from him at like midnight.
But that's an
Whoa.
early text.
Listen,
for
Let's talk about
I'm
that.
gonna need you to buy me dinner if you're gonna be texting me at midnight.
It's usually like, don't forget
Yeah.
this and this is due tomorrow.
This and this and this.
And she's like,
Yeah.
And I don't
What
answer
a
because I go to
jagoff.
bed at
No.
9 o'clock as well.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
I went to bed 9:30.
that's why you're always up and just.
What time
chipper.
do you wake up, Joe?
Ready to roll.
Like 4 or 5.
See?
Yeah. Do you
These
set
are-
the alarm?
No,
Me neither. Like, I don't have to.
no.
It's unfortunate. I wish I could sleep till 8, 9 o'clock. I cannot. It's,
You know,
I can't sleep past 5 a.m.
You've gotten
anymore.
earlier
I am.
since I've known you.
I know.
Like you've
I used to
definitely gotten up early. Like I know
I used
can
to bitch
text you.
about when we'd have 6 o'clock tea times. I would be bitching.
Right.
Like, God,
now
I
you'd
hate
be ready
this.
to go.
Oh my
I know I
God.
can text you at 6 and you're like
wide awake.
Yeah. Did you
Like-
see that article? Yeah. you
Yeah,
know.
wide awake. Like naturally wide awake. The only I will sometimes if I'm going to bed late and I know I have to get up for the show, for instance, I would set an alarm just to be paranoid. But
I do
I'd always
too.
turn it off.
I do too. I always beat it.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can't tell you
so
the
day.
last time I woke up on an alarm. If I have to go like early morning plane flight to Midway or something like that, I have to wake up at like 4:30. I would set an alarm like 5 o'clock. I would set it if I had a hard wake up, but usually I wake up on my own.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, John?
7.
7
7
wake
a.m.
up,
is your
natural
time?
or alarm?
Alarm.
Alarm.
Snooze or no snooze?
I'd say half the time I hit snooze once.
Anytime
Oh,
more
no.
than 2?
He's a young man though.
Dude, that
The
is a young man
weekends.
thing.
It's a
Like,
young
who,
man.
who hits snooze?
Mm-hmm.
Young people.
Yeah.
That yes, or like hungover people, or
John
yeah.
doesn't drink that
I
much.
know.
So.
I agree.
He stays up till like 3
I'm
in the
just saying
morning
he's young.
playing
That's
video
why he's
games.
doing
Though.
it. Right. That's probably part of it.
Is that what it is, John?
We go late sometimes.
Late
yeah.
night video
Yeah.
games?
There you go.
Hey, I gotta tell you something.
He's changing the subject.
People are in the chat saying how nice the season has been, and I
all.
gotta read one from Rob. He
All right.
says, "As LOCPOD wraps up this season, let us be grateful and thankful for such a great team that provides knowledge, perspective, and entertainment. May all of you
Thank
have
you.
a happy holiday season."
That's nice.
Thank
I guess
you,
it is
Rob.
nice that we're
Thanks, Rob.
finishing on Thanksgiving week. That was
It
such a
is.
nice Thanksgiving wish.
Thank God they're going up there for a while.
There's a lot of
By the way, like, I'm not here to pat us all on the back, but this is a commitment. Obviously, just appearing on air is a commitment because we all, sometimes we have to be places on Tuesday or Friday. So appearing here for an hour and a half each Tuesday and Friday, plus like the pre-show that goes into this, there is a lot of work that goes into this. And obviously that's not even talking about all the stuff that Steve does. And I'm thankful for what Steve does for our show, even though I have to pay taxes on the money he makes.
And
I
we
still
pick
think,
on him every
yeah,
episode.
but still, like, there's a lot of
can't
effort that
help
goes
it.
into this podcast. It's not just like coming on here and yucking it up. There's a lot of thought and a lot of preparation that goes into this. And so I appreciate and I'm thankful for you guys for your commitment to the show because I think it's a great show. And let me tell you something, Jill, John, I know Kevin sees this when I'm traveling the state. I'm traveling around. There's people that listen. It's crazy. They're like, hey, I'm a LOCPODder. And you would like in the weirdest places,
Yeah, we're going to get into one of those. I'll talk about that when we get to your travels. But yeah, that happened just last week. So speaking of dedication, I know you are busy a lot of times on Monday nights with the city council.
That's
and
my busiest night of the week.
Last night was no exception.
Did you see it, guys? Did you watch the show last night? The show?
No,
The show.
absolutely not.
Also
It
known
is
as the
like
city
the show.
council meeting. The show.
Yeah. Right. Did you watch the show? Yeah. I knew I was in. Okay. Do you mind if we talk about this?
I think that's next on the script.
So sometimes you have like issues that are going through the process in the city. Like we had an issue where there's a lot, let's just call it the size of a football field. Okay. It's about similar size to a football field. It's long and skinny, surrounded by houses that are looking at it. It's been a green lot in this neighborhood for, 50 plus years. Never really been recognized as a park, never been recognized as commercial property, just sort of like green space.
Right
It's
away,
always been
right.
there. Right away, right. So my administration comes up with the great idea. I'm being sarcastic when I say this, that we're going to put houses on this green space, which makes sense. And we always push single family homes. So like this is a push we normally make. This was not an ideal lot though for it. I think we'd all acknowledge that right now.
Yeah, I think like just so folks that may not know Hammond, just to know like
This isn't just a
reason-
Hammond story, by the way.
Exactly,
This
that's why
is a
this is
story that's
important.
important because it's just like interesting stuff mayors deal with. So please, if you're not from Hammond, don't turn us off right now. This
Right.
is something that's important to your mayor wherever you live.
What I wanted to comment on is what Tom said about being aggressive about single-family homes. So in suburban area where we live, it's easy. You got a bunch of old farm fields. They
Right.
turn them into subdivisions. They build, huge homes, and away they go. In
Hammond's
Hammond,
landlocked.
Right. Well, and not only that, Hammond is an old city. It's a Midwestern city. So it's 1880s, and you have a lot of homes that were built either around 1900 or you have a lot of homes that were built right after World War II. And so when Tom says, I want to be aggressive about single-family homes, it's because we want to have new homes available so that people stay and move to the city.
So anyway, we come up with an idea where we're going to put a duplex and a triplex on this lot. And my team comes up with it. It wasn't necessarily me, but I'm the boss.
It was not you.
So I'm the boss, and these things happen under my umbrella, so to speak, right? I think that's a good way to put it. It's not really
That's fair.
It's not really the most important issue to me personally as mayor, but it's happening under my administration, okay? And like I was saying to the council last night, well, first off, what happened? The council in last meeting 2 weeks ago approved a rezoning change on that property. Well, a process that's going to lead to rezoning of that property that's going to make it possible to put houses on it, okay? Now, it passes the council unanimously 2 weeks ago. I get the ordinance, and I'm looking at it thinking, what? Like, we're going to put houses on that green strip that's surrounded by homes looking at it? And I was literally like, I should veto this. But I started feeling bad because I knew the councilwoman that sponsored the ordinance at our request would look bad if I did that. All the people that had been working on the project would look bad. And I felt like obligated to sign it at that point, even though on the day I was going to sign it, I was like, this is not a good idea. But weekly, I signed it, and I caused a firestorm, okay? Because the neighbors who weren't really paying attention to the process until this point when it was actually signed and passed, the neighbors start rising up saying, what the hell are you doing? You're building houses on our green space, on our park. We use it as a park. It's our green space. It's not big enough for a triplex and a duplex. And the neighborhood starts rising in revolt.
Sure.
And I see it early because the day I signed the ordinance, I happened to be in that part of the city at a public meeting where I got a lot of pushback on this plan. And
interesting timing.
And I'm thinking to myself, I literally just signed this ordinance like an hour ago, and I'm getting hell already from it. So I took a drive around the neighborhood that night, and I was looking at it, and I was thinking to myself, we messed up, man. I'm like, we made a huge mistake. I can't believe how stupid I was to let this happen. It wasn't my issue, but it happened under my authority. And nobody wants to hear the mayor say, it's not my fault. It's my team's fault. So I'm not going to say that. It's my fault. But it wasn't my idea.
Yeah, I mean,
nonetheless, I appeared at the council meeting last night in total retreat.
Well, I don't know if it was total retreat. I think what you did was, and I think it was the right thing to do, and I want to get into why I think this makes you a good mayor and I think a good Senate candidate in a little bit. But what you did was there were probably, and city council meeting sometimes they'll get a crowd, sometimes they won't. Last night there were probably a good 25 people from the neighborhood there, which is pretty good
for sure.
number, right? I mean,
for
and they
sure.
also did like
crowded.
a petition online, had 300 signatures.
Right, and tons of comments, tons of action.
But I want to make sure it's clear that it wasn't like, oh my gosh, there are people here, or, oh my gosh, there's a petition, I better do something.
No.
The mayor, from the day that he went to that meeting, had been telling his administration and the people that were involved, including me, we got to fix this. I need a letter out.
Was I being nice about it?
No. I mean, no, I think you're being firm, which as
with
you
guys.
As you do with when you as a mayor when you need something done.
What was my tone?
Angry?
Like we messed up?
Yeah.
I can't believe I let this happen.
Yep.
I can't believe you guys pitched this bullshit idea to me.
Well,
and I signed it. I'm mad at myself. I'm mad at you guys.
Yep.
But like none of that really got out.
Yeah, right.
I ate it publicly. Like this is my fault. I accept responsibility for it. That's the public posture. But behind the scenes,
it was fix it. Let's get this fixed right away.
I was sort of kicking ass, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I think that's appropriate, right? I mean, you're the mayor.
I was pissed at you guys, man. I was pissed at you guys.
Yeah.
I was like, this is some bullshit advice I got from my team that's supposed to be watching out for stuff like this.
As I mentioned to you, I think the intent was good because it's furthering your.
It was just.
It was. I think it was one of those things where we didn't get enough feedback from the neighborhood, and we thought the neighborhood.
We should have known enough, in my opinion. We should have known enough to realize it was going to cause a shitstorm.
But I think a couple things that you did right was number one, and this is what happened last night: is you apologized. It wasn't full retreat. It was you apologized, and during the week you had already sent a letter. Accepted responsibility. You had sent a letter during the week. Before the people came to the meeting, before the petition was done, you sent a letter to the residents saying that we're going back on this.
Right.
Yeah, which I thought was smart. I mean, when you see a situation, and what I think you said last night, Tom, at the meeting was, I've got a lot of balls in the air, and some of them are heavier to me,
right,
and some of them I don't realize are heavy to the people that they affect.
Right.
I don't think
it, like there's certain issues that I have to manage that require a lot of my attention, and there's other issues that are happening under the umbrella of my authority that I'm not really paying attention to. But they're happening, but they're super important to the people that live there. And my failure in this case was I allowed something that I wasn't really paying close attention to happen. And it was super important to the neighborhood. And I feel that I failed them because my team should have anticipated this, and I should have anticipated this, and we didn't.
I think initially you did, but I think in the end of the day, what you did last night was really good, and you got a big applause from the people.
I did, and I shook all their hand. I apologized to all of them.
They absolutely appreciated you doing that.
Like that.
Well, I mean, it's not easy. A lot of people don't take responsibility.
Dude.
They'll shuffle it off on somebody else. Look at what Mike Braun did. It was my treasurer.
Right. Well, I ate it. It was my fault because I accept responsibility. You know, I believe in chain of command, and I'm the top, and my people's job is to anticipate stuff like that happening, and we did not do that, and neither did I, and I ate crow last night because of it. And I'm proud of myself for doing it, and I'm glad we're going backwards. And the good news for these neighbors is we're turning this into a park, a designated park, so that it'll never be messed with in the future again. So the residents that live there don't have to worry about this ever happening again.
Right. And so I think what I was thinking about this, and I was kind of like thinking, like, why does this bode well for you in your Senate campaign? And I was thinking, this is because you're not just a doobie smoking yes man like really wants to call me, but what you are is I think you're thoughtful and you think about issues, not necessarily what's best for you, but what's best for the people that are affected by your decisions.
Honestly, I feel like it's my job to work with the neighborhoods and like in partnership with the neighborhoods. And I felt like this was more a middle finger. And I said that last night at the public meeting. It's like, that's not my job, is to give my bosses, the residents of Hammond, the middle finger. My job is to work with them and to make them happy. And I realize sometimes I can't make everybody happy. Like I pointed out the bridge project in Hessville that I'm getting a lot of pushback from environmental groups on. I know that project's the right thing to do, right? I didn't feel the same way about the duplex and triplex in Forsyth Square.
And there are different residential single-family housing developments that you're pro.
Right. And we'll get some pushback, but this was unimportant in the overall scheme of things, and it was entirely important to the people that live there, and we made a mistake. So I ate it last night, and I apologized in front of the council, and I actually was like a little choked up. Like I don't know, do you ever, like when you're apologizing, you get like emotional? Because I was doing that last night.
Apologizing's never easy.
Joe lives in that neighborhood, right, Joe? In that approximately.
Those are my people.
I know. So like last night, obviously, I mean, I think it was good, right? You didn't see it.
I didn't know. I definitely
watch
those.
Maybe you'll see it.
Yeah, it was good. I was there. It was good. It was the right thing to do. And let's do some ads.
Well, no, I have one thing. I had something funny happen to me the other day.
Go ahead.
So I'm out to lunch with a friend. I won't name who the friend is, right?
Yeah.
And he's super concerned. He's like, I got to sit down with you. It's important. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, what's going on? So we set up the lunch. I go, Casa Del Mar. Love it. So I'm sitting at Casa Del Mar.
They don't put a tip on.
I start just chowing on chips, of course, like my normal thing. And he's like, you have to be honest with me, Tom. I'm like, what? So I stopped eating a chip. I'm like, what's the matter, man?
That's a lot for Tom to say he stopped eating a chip.
Was there I realized mid-chip? Was there like crumbs?
Yeah. I'm like, what? This must be serious. And he goes, you got to tell me. He goes, somebody had pictures of you, right?
Doing what?
I'm like, what? He goes, dude, there had to be a reason you did what you did on LOCPOD last week. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he goes, somebody had a picture of you smoking weed, right? And I go, no. Well, why? Have you heard something? He goes, then why the hell would you do what you did last week on LOCPOD? I said, I was just being honest. I'll be honest with you. Like, so nobody has a picture of you doing this. There's no reason for you to do this. You just wanted to do it. I'm like, exactly. Well, it's like, he was convinced like somebody had like blackmail material on me and I wanted to beat him to the punch by coming out with it.
So funny.
He was convinced.
I just think it's so funny how people think that there's like always this ulterior motive.
He was convinced, Kevin.
Was it an attorney?
No.
I don't know if you'll guess this.
The reality is that I think, and it's shown through what happened, is like you've heightened that issue. The state party's on that issue now, and it's an issue that's important.
It said in the front page of the Times, McDermott sparks statewide advocacy of marijuana. Sparks it. I like that.
That's true. Spark. But I think, like you said in your tweet,
there was people before me. Absolutely. Let's be honest. Karen Tallian's been doing this way longer than I have.
Champion.
The outgoing state senator from Porter County. She floated the bill to legalize marijuana when people were like, what?
10 years ago, I think.
It was like a totally different environment when she started first floating.
Colorado.
I always appreciated her, and I told her that, and I donated to her because I'm like, hell yeah, Karen, you're the man, so to speak, right? And then Ryan Mears, the prosecutor in Indianapolis, made waves last year when he took over as Marion County prosecutor and said he would not prosecute marijuana-related crimes anymore, and he took a ton of shit for that. And by the way, Bravo, Ryan Mears.
Simple possession was like, this is crazy. I'm not going to prosecute.
Absolutely. I wish Bernie Carter would do that. In fact, I mean, I love Bernie Carter and I support Bernie Carter. I wish Bernie would do the same thing in Lake County.
And
it's
we've
just
had
like,
Bernie
hey,
on, and he's had different tact on that issue.
I think I don't think Bernie looks at the issue the same way I do.
Correct.
We're of different generations.
Yeah.
And really, I think if you're 10 years older than I am, I think you look at marijuana completely different than people in our age group, and then people in Jill and John's
I think
age
where you
group.
grew up too.
Oh yeah, I mean, growing
it's
up in
different.
California certainly makes it
San
easier.
Francisco area. So,
Dude, when I was a kid, honestly, it was way easier to get marijuana than it was to get alcohol.
wow.
Tremendously easier. Like you like to get alcohol, I needed somebody that was 21. To get marijuana, it was simple. So like, there's a case to be made that if you regulate marijuana and you force people to go get it at a dispensary where you have to be 21 or older to get it,
Makes it more difficult to get.
absolutely.
Interesting.
It's interesting. I agree. So I don't think it's too hard for our kids to get, illegal drugs if they want to.
All right, we're going to go and do some ads. We're going to come back for Tom's travels. We're going to talk about what he did last week and then get to some COVID orders. So let's go with our finale. Premier sponsor, Powering America. John?
Pow.
Thank you. Season 4 is sponsored by our premier sponsor, Powering America. With the explosive growth of renewable energy in America today, call Powering America to meet your needs for renewable energy in your home or office, including electric vehicle chargers and solar-powered solutions. Trust the electrical professionals of Powering America. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org. Thank you, Powering America.
I'm going to miss you guys, but I'm not going to see you until 2022. I'm planning on just checking out. And
For sure.
I don't know if we're going to talk again until next year. So
That's usually
Totally
how
fine
it
with
goes.
So enjoy this, John. Enjoy this.
it's a
John.
brother and sisterhood while we're here, but when we're on break, screw these people. It's like the Beatles.
like
They
I
don't
need a
hang out with each
vacation.
other after. When
No.
the Beatles go away, they're like, later, Paul, later, John, I'm gone.
See
Right?
you on tour next year.
Dude, I
Yeah.
will see you in
the
22.
studio.
The three of you, I'm sick and tired of. I'll be honest
That's
with you, okay?
It's a lot of time
I'm just
together.
out. I'm just
It's
putting
just
it out.
business, man.
Just business, right?
Business.
Yeah.
Well, we all know he's in the biz.
I am in the biz.
You know,
So, what?
speaking of, and I'll put this link in the chat, but we're going to be streaming live next season on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So be sure to subscribe right now. Everyone that's listening, subscribe on YouTube. Turn on your notifications so you know when we go live on YouTube next season.
Can we put a link in the chat, John?
I'm dropping it in right now.
We're gonna-
He's so all over it.
Because I always share the links on Facebook of each show. I think I'm going to share
The YouTube.
I know, but I think we should also share Facebook because
Yeah,
I do like the
we're
live
gonna do-
audience.
we're
We
gonna
do have a live
dual.
audience that is great, but we got to figure out how to dually share. And going live on on YouTube is a big move for us. I'm excited about for next
Excited.
season. Yeah,
Yeah.
It makes it sound cool, I think.
Yeah, there'll be a transition. We're going to dual stream for a while, Facebook, YouTube, and then we're going to go
It's called weaning.
weaning.
we don't want to lose audience. I don't want to. We work too hard to get to where we are now. So
All of you LOCPODers.
Midwest Air Duct Cleaning. At Midwest Air Duct Cleaning, your health is our number one priority. At Midwest Air Duct Cleaning, we are dedicated to providing top-notch quality services at an affordable price. Our technicians at Midwest Air Duct Cleaning have been trained to shelter the members of your household from potential airborne contaminants. If you would like more information from Midwest Air Duct Cleaning on how to protect the lungs of your home, call Marinko at Midwest Air Duct Cleaning and his team at 219-671-8868 today.
Calumet Brewery wants to tell you about Michelob Ultra. Michelob Ultra is a superior light beer with only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, all while being one of the fastest growing brands in the region. Or try Ultra Pure Gold, an organic light lager with only 2.5 carbs and 85 calories, brewed for your healthy lifestyle. Enter to win a Michelob Ultra snowblower through calbrew.com. Check out Calumet Brewery's Facebook page for details.
Challenger Learning Center. The holiday season is here. Challenger Learning Center invites families to celebrate the season with a show full of classic holiday hits, all set to laser lights, all aglow. The Holiday Laser Light Show will take place on Friday, December 17th at 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. Tickets are $12 and must be purchased in
You
advance.
made it sound like all aglow is a bad thing.
I think it's a good
It was
thing.
like you
I
were
was
like
trying to
an
emphasize-
evil all aglow.
Yeah, let's see.
Not
Hold
like
on.
a
Challenger
holiday.
Learning Center invites families to celebrate the season with a show full of classic holiday hits, all set to laser lights, all aglow.
There you go.
I
That's
like
more
that.
holiday.
My bad. The Holiday Laser Light shows will take place on Friday, December 17th at 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. Tickets are $12 and must be purchased in advance. Visit clcnwi.com or connect on social media at ChallengerNWI on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Get ready. Here's Eli for the last time this season. Tortillas Nuevo Leon is the gold standard of Mexican cuisine throughout the Midwest. Look for Tortillas Nuevo Leon's popular red and white label at your local grocery store and enjoy quality Mexican products made with local expertise.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia, de todo corazón.
That was nice.
Love Eli.
You just let him go that time.
Man.
Just like, I'm
I'm
just
like letting him sink in.
I agree.
Because I'm not going to hear that for 6 weeks.
Yeah. By the way, thank you to our premier sponsor, Power in America, and this cool sticker they left us.
That's awesome.
$6.97
Hey,
IBEW.
We've been talking about this for a long time, but why don't we put a little work into the damn studio before we come back, huh? I mean, just
All
like,
right, John, we'll
just
work
like,
on it.
Seriously, we need a real man to
why
come in
me?
here and work for like 15 minutes.
Well, that's
and everything.
John. He knows how to. He's handy. So we'll get on it.
I used to be handy. I
John,
gave that
that's
up.
our challenge, John. You and
Yeah.
me.
Actually, the challenge is to make sure we're ready to like dual stream next season.
That's right. It's going to
And
take a while.
We're getting some cool stuff in here before next season, Tom. We're going to get that stream deck so I can just press a button and play the music you want to play.
Wow.
Breaking
Finally.
news.
So sound effects?
Yeah.
What else could you cram into this little room?
I know.
I love sound effects, though. We need sound effects. How many sound effects will allow you to play?
Like 100.
That's
It's
awesome.
just sound
We'll never
effects.
run out of.
What do you want, like a fart noise or
Yes,
something? Like
that's exactly what I was looking for.
like
Thank
a
you.
wing.
You know what I should do is put it by Tom.
You know, just like
I should put it by Tom so he can do
No.
it.
Yes,
No.
John, yes.
No.
I can
This
run
is
it
not
to your
like
area.
This is not like a morning wacko show. Like
I
a
agree
Whack
with
Pack
you,
show
but like when
or
we do the
something.
news, I
love when John does that. He's gonna
that's
boom.
fine, but like we need these things for our
The
show.
news one is good. So is the klaxon. Wah, wah. Oh, that was good.
Oh, really? Oh, just the ones Kevin likes.
But
are
not
good,
not
right?
the quack or whatever. What did you do?
I didn't say. I was just like making noises.
What
I didn't
was
say
that
that
one,
has
though?
to be part of our
What
show.
was it?
It was like a duck sound.
Think like when Tom does the apology segment, I'll start some
Yes.
sad music.
Yes,
What?
for sure.
Exactly.
Tom's
See?
middle finger. What's the music
Tom's
for
little-
that?
Something
Death
aggressive.
metal?
Yeah,
Yes.
something
Yes.
aggressive. Yeah, something
And we need
aggressive.
one for Tom's travels, like an on the road song.
Yeah.
So
On the
I'm gonna
road
have my
again.
hands full.
We're like
during
we just given
off-season.
John
Hold
like
it.
2 weeks of work.
You were shitting on our idea 2 minutes ago. Now you're all into it.
I don't want the duck sound, but I do like
I
some
didn't say
theme
the
music.
duck sound has
you
to
did.
be
You're
a
like
key
wah,
part of
wah, or
it.
whatever.
I just made a noise. Excuse me, for God's sakes. Man, I can't wait to get it the freaking hell out of here.
Kevin, are you high?
Yeah,
I'm
he
on,
needs to
I'm
be.
on coke right now. I did a couple
Yeah,
lines
if he
before
was,
this.
if he was high, he'd be a lot more cool. Let me tell you.
Why do you think I
Well,
cut
Tom
away
knows
from
I'm
you
not cool.
every now and then, Kevin?
Yeah.
So you can do that line of
What
coke
the
off your
hell is going
iPad.
on here?
Thank you. I just lean over off camera, set up right behind me.
Is it a mirror table?
Yeah.
It's
All
a-
right.
I
So
got a big
anyway,
nose.
I made news again this week, and I think I pissed off one of my fellow LOCPODers.
Is this about your travels?
No, it's not about my travels.
Oh.
Why'd you look at
Why don't
me?
we talk about travels?
Oh shoot!
I don't know where you
missed
went.
that. I missed that. Okay, we'll
Yeah.
do that when we get back. We'll do the
Okay.
other part. Yeah. No, this year it was not the busiest week actually.
It's not.
It was a quick trip to Southern Indiana. So this is Kevin and I did this trip together. We fly out Friday night. There was an important meeting Saturday morning in Evansville early. So the option would not have been drive down and back because it's a 5-hour drive.
And we had stuff Friday afternoon.
And we
So it
had
was
stuff
like-
Friday afternoon in City Hall. So the only option I had would be to fly to Evansville from O'Hare on Friday night, which I did. And Kevin did also on one of those little like Buddy Holly.
Yeah, regional jets.
Like little Buddy Holly jet. You couldn't even put your stuff on the overhead. It was so small.
Yeah, I stood up. My head hit the ceiling.
Yeah, I did too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was.
But the great thing was 45-minute flight.
By the way, it was really smooth. It was like up in the air super quick. It was like jet engines on like a small little plane.
Good
so we
weather.
were like up in the air like real quick. It was a 45-minute flight. Landed Evansville. Kevin and I stay at the Hyatt place and just crash. We
Yeah.
don't do anything that night.
That's
like
it.
good boys, you know. I had to get my speech ready and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So we wake up the next morning. We go to Evansville and we were in Evansville, so we went to the
Local
hall.
103 Ironworkers.
Right. We went to Ironworkers Hall and I killed it. Gave a great speech in front of over 100 people, which is great.
I thought the cool thing, and you mentioned this to the organizers in, between
The chairwoman Cheryl.
Cheryl's great, Cheryl
Right.
Schultz, and also
Nick.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Nick, the vice chair. And, it's interesting areas where it's really a swing, right? It goes back and forth.
I think
between
Evansville's
Republicans and
Democrat.
Democrats.
Well,
I think it's
itself,
a Democratic town for sure.
The city itself is
for
Democrat.
sure. It is.
Vandenberg
right?
County, I think, is possible to be. It's purple.
Sure,
More,
agreed.
maybe it's definitely more red than the city.
But it's interesting how energized the Democrats are down there. They're like, we're having these monthly breakfasts.
It's awesome.
It was really cool.
Dude, I tell you, like, I need to sit down with Chairman Weiser because we've seen a lot of cool things on the road.
Yeah.
Things that we should be doing here in Northwest Indiana that would make our party stronger. I tell you, Cheryl and the Democrats in Evansville, that breakfast idea is a great idea.
So I parked the car, John. We got a rental car one way, so I had to go get the car, come back, and I couldn't get in the door. The line was so long.
Wow.
They have, every month, the party down there has a breakfast that's free to all precinct committeemen and vices and elected officials. I don't think you can just walk off the street. I think it has to be part of the organization.
I just met some people. They say, yeah, we just come for dinner. We just come for breakfast.
Well, you get to go in. It's a great breakfast. It's like they invite a big speaker in. I happen to be the speaker this month, so big is in quotations.
No, I think it was good.
So,
Brought
but
out
they
the crowd.
invite a speaker in, and I spoke for like 15, 20 minutes and took a bunch of pictures, shook everybody's hand.
There are like candidates for sheriff there.
Yeah, commissioners,
There was, like,
commissioners,
professors from University of Evansville there,
Right.
and the precinct committee people there.
Yeah.
And I thought the cool thing was they do it. They like a different union sponsors every month.
Yeah,
which is really
well, it's
cool.
only a couple $100, and then like who wouldn't want a free breakfast? It's not a fundraiser. You get to show up and just hear like Mayor McDermott speak, and then I imagine they have mayors and they have like commissioners and they have sheriffs and
it's good. It's just great engagement.
I think it's awesome. I tell you, it's very impressive what they're doing down there in the Evansville Democratic Party. I appreciate it very much. But anyway, so I jump in the car with Kevin Chandler, and we drive home for 5 hours.
Yes,
with
along
a
Western
broken radio.
Oh, that was something, John. We had to spend probably an hour and a half trying to get
probably 2 hours.
off the phone.
Kevin, finally, I'm just like, Kevin, just give it up, dude. We've done everything you could do to this goddamn radio. So we driving home, like I played my iPad out loud so we could hear it.
What was the problem?
It was the Apple CarPlay was screwed up on the GMC
totally
vehicle we had.
What's on the playlist? What's on the road trip playlist?
It's normal, like AC/DC. I would take the rap out in the car with Kevin, and it's mostly classic rock and like some modern rock. But like, Kevin doesn't enjoy rap like I do, so I take the rap out. Like if it's too popular.
I don't dislike it. I just don't enjoy it like you do. I think that's fair.
But like some of the newer, I take out the stuff I don't think Kevin would like. But that's one of the things I like to do when we're driving is I'll put a playlist up, and most of the songs that come up are cool, and I'll wipe the ones I don't think is appropriate.
The reason we were so adamant about trying to get CarPlay working is because the Notre Dame game is always on the Catholic channel. They play every Notre Dame game on the Catholic channel on XM, and we were trying to get it so we could listen to the game.
Yeah,
and
that was a good game, by the way. 55-0, and I won $500.
What?
Whoa!
Yep.
55-0.
Yeah,
Or
I had Notre Dame
55-0,
cover
plus
the under of 57.5. So Notre Dame puts up 50-something points, and I'm like...
Well, no, worse. There was 42 at half, wasn't it?
Half.
42.
So you do the math. You're like, I'm going to lose badly. But Notre Dame literally brought in their entire second string in the second half, and all the backups played the rest of the game, and they didn't score that much.
Who they play?
What
they
a
played
hit.
Georgia Tech, who looked
55-0.
horrible.
Oh, I didn't know they played
It's
football at
embarrassing
Georgia
loss.
Tech.
So
Georgia
that was
Tech, they sucked.
Western Indiana. We took the whole way up.
Why don't we go do some ads, and then we'll come back with COVID-19. And then I want to update everybody on the Dying with Dignity thing I've been going through.
Okay.
And then we'll close it up. How about that?
Let's do it. All right.
Let's do it.
You're up.
Let's go. Ms. Print. Ms. Print specializes in delivering the highest quality signs and printing on time and within budget. Ms. Print's experience and technology allows them to offer custom, commercial, on-demand printing and sign solutions you can count on. Rick Baltensberger and his team have served Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana for over 30 years. Ms. Print has 2 convenient locations in Munster and in Hammond.
Byway Brewing is a family-friendly microbrewery with a spacious tap room and outside patio. Brewing equipment offers a unique backdrop for your private event like weddings, reunions, and corporate parties. They're conveniently located just off of 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue South exit. Come on by and enjoy Byway's award-winning beers and unbeatable menu.
Tri Electronics wants to be your complete communications provider. I just wanted to do an uncomfortable silence. I just thought that was a cool effect.
Just
I was waiting for John to say end to end.
That's it. Tri Electronics wants to be your complete communications provider, period. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
That's a good ad, but I'm going to keep going anyway.
Hard stop.
Tri Electronics has been a leader in this industry for more than 55 years. End. We are dedicated to assisting our clients with their systems integration needs. We have the expertise and experience to provide superior results for a wide variety of projects. For more information, call Triad Electronics today at 1-800-722-6793.
I'm just doing another big pause there.
Yeah, right. Hey man,
The
give them their
suspense
money's
is
worth.
killing
We don't
me.
have
Don't
enough.
forget, you promised full. This is the last ad of the year.
I need-
you
I
promised
need
all the
backup.
way.
I need
you need
backup.
Vez and Harmony here.
I need
Ready?
backup.
Grisolia's Concrete was voted number 1 in the Times Best of the Region 2020 and 2021. Grisolia's Concrete specializes in all of your concrete projects, and they have been using the original cement finish in the
California knows how to party in the city.
There it is.
City of Hammond. All right, there you
City
go.
of the region. All right,
Yeah.
let's see. Since 1972, and also offers stamped and colored concrete. For more information or a project quote, call Grisolia's Concrete at 219-659-4127.
We're done with
that's all
ads.
of our ads. Thank you to Power in America, our premier sponsor, and all our advertisers.
Yes.
Because that's how you keep
were great.
LOCPOD chugging along.
They were great.
We really do appreciate our sponsors. I mean, it's a big deal.
That's how we keep Steve traveling the world, is by reading
Yes.
those things off.
Thank
We're
you.
doing it all for Steve. Let's be honest.
and
We're paying
for a little
taxes
bit of
for
money
him.
to pay our taxes.
We haven't received anything yet. I can honestly, I've only received negative attention from
from LOCPOD.
yeah, a lot of shit in the newspaper, a lot of blowback. Because I have
You're
no
off the rails.
It's because I have no guardrails.
You're off the rails.
Off the rails. I think we know what the
On a crazy train? Is that what you're saying?
That's right.
Oh, Crazy Train. That's a good song.
See, we need that on the sound effects.
Crazy Train.
Whenever I say stupid stuff, John would just play crazy. Okay,
Yeah, I have a poll going.
right.
what's the poll?
I voted Jill and Lindsay.
I voted Tom.
Who?
Of course you did.
I mean, what
That
the
is
hell?
no-
What do you think? Like when I'm running for mayor, you think I don't vote for
He's
myself?
missing himself already.
I do miss myself. Yeah.
I'm gonna just tell the viewers right now: if this poll doesn't change, I'm not coming back. next
Oh,
year.
wow.
And I've never been more serious about something. I keep this
Sounds
shit
like
show
these
running.
results aren't
This
happening.
shit show
I keep
running.
the shit-
Who are you gonna miss most during the off season?
I should have put John.
I am
Damn.
coming in dead last.
Well,
All
I mean,
you freaking liberals, man. You guys better start voting for me. I'm going to shut
Tom
this
won.
thing down right now.
Jill and Lindsay beat me. Good job, you guys.
Yeah, they're popular. What's
are
that
very
about?
I think
Well,
this
they
is
know.
more
I mean-
Lindsay. It's more Lindsay.
There
let's be
wasn't a way
honest.
to create 5 options. I had to put you two together.
You should have just bumped yourself. No one's
This is
voting
when you
for
take
anyway.
credit. This is when you take credit, Jill.
Yeah.
John voted for himself.
This
at
is
least.
bullshit. I can't vote back here,
John,
man.
you're last and you voted for yourself.
No, I didn't. I'm too busy making this show run.
All right, I want to start off just to update. It's the end of the season, and I want to update somebody on some people, the LOCPOD audience on a family member of mine that chose to die with dignity. I've been talking about it. I've not revealed who this person is. I will reveal it's a family member, and I've been updating people about the decision that this family member made about taking advantage of the California law that allows you to, after you speak with 2 different doctors and get the okay from 2 different doctors, and after you attend therapy and get an okay by a therapist, California allows doctors to prescribe you medicine that will put you to sleep, and in your sleep, it'll kill you. This person had a terminal illness, multiple tumors, no chance of recovery outside of heroic measures being like a massive amount of chemotherapy. And if things go well, she had an opportunity to live further into her life, obviously, but this person was not interested in going forward with the chemo. They went through the 2 doctors. The doctors agreed that her illness was terminal. The therapist found her of sound mind, making good decisions, and she had the medicine delivered to her on Sunday. She drank the medicine and fell asleep peacefully, and during her sleep, she stopped breathing. So the family was obviously distraught, but relieved that she's not in pain anymore. And I think it's a great law. I personally do. In a situation where you're facing a terminal illness, I think that's the right way to do it, personally, if you choose to go that way, instead of wasting away.
Well, first of all, my condolences, Tom, to the family. And
The family is very strong about it. Obviously, you have time to absorb it.
Right.
They knew for about a week before it happened that it was going to happen, so they have time to absorb it for that week. So it was sort of, when it actually happened, it was like,
yeah, I mean,
do
do you consider it like dying with dignity? Do you believe that happened?
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. And she was super strong about it. She cheersed everybody with the medicine and drank it.
Wow.
Cheers. Love you guys.
Wow.
Drank it.
Wow.
And then from what I hear, I wasn't there. From what I hear, became discombobulated, high.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I had to guess what it was, I don't know for sure what it is. I think it was a opioid cocktail that probably was similar to a heroin high. And when you hear people that talk about when they die on heroin, they stop breathing. It seems to me like it was similar to what this person went through. Is they went through the process, they became sort of discombobulated, like they were getting high off of the opioids or whatever they ingested, and then fell asleep. And during their sleep, they stopped breathing, which is similar to an opioid overdose. So I definitely think it was with dignity. I definitely think this person is
kind of on their own terms.
Dude, I think
Incredible.
it's so I don't want to say inspiring. It is inspiring though, because they chose to go out their way. I'm not going to waste away. I don't want my grandkids and my kids and my grandkids to see me waste away like I saw my grandma waste away. I don't want to waste my life savings paying hospitals and doctors tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars for chemotherapy. I don't want to go through years of throwing up and losing my hair and doing all this just for a couple more years. She wanted to go out on her own terms. And I tell you, I think it's an inspiration how strong she was. And I think it shows it was supposed to happen on Friday and they couldn't get the medicine. So this shows you how much pain she was in, I think. So Friday, they don't get the medicine and the medicine's not supposed to come till Monday. Okay. They get the medicine on Sunday earlier than they anticipated. And instead of waiting one more day, she drank it Sunday.
Wow.
That's pain.
She was
saying?
She was ready.
Yeah,
She was ready.
You're in pain. You're obviously, there's a lot going on. You can't stand it anymore. Even one more day was too much.
Yeah, I mean, and you're consciously saying goodbye to your loved ones. I mean, but again, on your terms.
Can you imagine that though?
Hard.
On Sunday, I'd be like, what the hell? I'll have one more steak dinner. Or I'll have one more day with my family. But instead, they're like, I can't do it anymore.
Wow.
I'm sick. I feel
Well,
like
also,
crap,
I think resigned to what the decision's been, which is also tells you that they're of sound mind and they've made this decision and they're ready to do it.
Right.
So, well,
Very sad.
yeah, very sad, but also very interesting.
Miss
and I think,
them a lot. I'm not going to reveal the name out of privacy for the family. I am family with this person through marriage, but I just want to say that she's an inspiration and we'll miss her. My whole family will miss her. And I think that the way she controlled her exit from this earth is admirable. I really do. And I think California is way ahead of the game when it comes to laws in that regard.
it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next 5-10 years and see if that spreads.
It will.
Yep.
That's what happens.
Well, and it's like you said, it's in Europe, it's common.
Yeah, but usually in America, it usually starts on the West Coast, where things become legal that weren't legal before, and then slowly it drifts across the rest of the country. I mean, it'll eventually we'll be dealing with this issue in Indiana, and it'll be a good day.
All right. So
anyway, that's and obviously I wanted to update everybody. We'd been talking about it for the last few episodes, so I wanted
without
to update.
a doubt, let's
Right.
talk a little bit about you in the news, not just
Yeah.
LOCPOD in the news, but you in the news. You signed a couple executive orders this week. And
Yeah.
then there's just by chance, I guess, the state has decided they're going to go in session for one day that may
Right.
impact these executive orders.
Well, the thing is, honestly, where we're going as a country, the president had a mandate that's being litigated in courts right now about all businesses. President Biden had the mandate that required all businesses with 100 or more employees to have mandatory vaccination for their employees, or the employees, if they have medical or religious reasons to not get the vaccination, they have to submit to weekly testing. This applied to all businesses and governments with 100 or more employees. Obviously, the city of Hammond has 100 or more employees. So we were watching this litigation closely anyway. Okay. And right now, Biden's litigation is being stayed in the Fifth Circuit, I believe.
Fifth Circuit, correct, New
So
Orleans.
it's being litigated there. Whether or not OSHA takes it up a separate way, a route, but basically, either what happens in the Fifth Circuit or OSHA itself will probably start another process of rulemaking where it's a more normal route. But either way, I think we see the direction the country's heading in. And if this is the direction we head as a country, meaning any business or entity, government with 100 or more employees has to have mandatory vaccinations, there's no doubt whether or not it applies to the city of Hammond. It does. So if that route is taken by the president and his administration, I have no choice but to implement it in Hammond, regardless of how I feel on that issue. Okay. Now, I want to make it clear. I have my Moderna vaccination. I got it in February and March last year. I'm fully vaccinated. I even went this summer and got the booster. I was happy to get the booster. If they tell me next year to get another booster, I'm going to get it. Because I believe when doctors tell you this is an FDA-approved vaccine and it's going to prevent you, from getting sick and dying, possibly from COVID, I believe them. Some people choose not to, and that's their decision, okay? But I see where the country's headed. And I've been to concerts where I have to show my ID and my vaccine card, okay? I've been to some concerts where I had to take a test, but I don't think this is going away anytime soon. Maybe the pill that they're talking about comes out, and maybe that changes everything. I don't know. But like right now, it appears to me as mayor that my business, the city of Hammond, the one I'm in charge of running, the voters gave me permission to run it for 4 years. It seems to me during my term, I have 2 years left on the term before I have to make a decision again, but it appears to me this is going to happen during my term. I'm going to have to implement the president's strategy of vaccinating all employees because we're 100 or more employees, and I will. I'm absolutely going to. I'm not going to fight the president of the United States, especially because I believe what he's trying to do is the right thing to do. I personally believe that. I don't know about the mandatory vaccination part, but if the president says to do it and it's a legal rule and it's not being disputed.
You mean legal?
Legal, right,
legal. Yeah, you said illegal.
If it's legal, I meant.
You meant illegal, right, yeah. I
so anyway, we implemented 2 policies yesterday that requires all new employees to the city of Hammond to get vaccinated. I don't want to add to the problem. I have
show proof of vaccination, right?
Right, to show proof of vaccination. I have about 40% of my employees that are unvaccinated. I don't want to add to that problem. I think my goal is to get us to 100% because that's where we're going to need to be anyway. So with all new employees, they must be vaccinated to come to work for us. If they don't want to get vaccinated, they won't be hired, just period. Okay. Secondly, promotions and transfers for current employees. If you want to transfer or get promoted, you have to show vaccination before you'll even be considered.
Well, that's interesting, and
it made news. Obviously, there's some people unhappy with it. I'm sorry to the people that aren't happy with it, but I'm just getting us ready for what's eventually going to come anyway. And if it doesn't come, I won't go any further. Actually, if the president's desire to force all businesses with 100 or more employees to vaccinate, if that goes away, I'm not taking another step, but I'm walking us to where the president's leading us anyway.
Yeah, it seems interesting that, and it sounds to me like it's definitely going to be in the courts and fighting for a while because, like you see, the supermajority legislature now, who is supposed to be, pro-business and hands-off and laissez-faire with business, is now going to come into session for one day to pass a law that is going to get rid of any mandates that are out there. So it sounds like it could be a fight between the states and the federal government again. So we'll see what happens. But
it sucks. This whole thing, I mean, I don't like being a heavy-handed boss. I just don't. It's not my style. But we're in a pandemic. 770,000 people have died. The vaccines are not perfect, but they're FDA approved. I'm sure there's some people that have reactions to the vaccine. I'm not, when I'm saying if you gave 1 million people the vaccine, I'm sure out of the 1 million people that receive the vaccine, there's going to be a few of them that get sick from it. Maybe have adverse reactions. I'm sure there will be, but I'm willing to take that chance personally. And I don't have 1 million people working in my administration. I have closer to 1,000. And I would guarantee you that of all 1,000, if we all got vaccinated, there probably wouldn't be one person that got sick or had an adverse reaction to it. Because if you have 1 million, you're probably going to run into a couple. If you have 1,000,
prolonged adverse reaction.
Right.
I mean, some people get
sore shoulder or sick. Right. I'm talking
shoulder.
about prolonged, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's interesting. I think it's like you said, it seems to be the direction that the Biden administration wants to go. They issued this order through OSHA. It probably was a little bit hurried through. So I think it's going to be interesting to see the next step that the administration takes. If they're going to go through a formal rulemaking process through OSHA, or they're going to do something else. But
I got a new reporter in the Times too, Molly DeVore.
Yeah.
And so she's the new reporter doing this story. I got a real good quote at the end of it. I thought it was, "I would not ask somebody to do something I wouldn't do myself," McDermott said. "We send our employee into the streets of our city to interact with constituents, and I think it is incumbent upon our city government to make sure we are not part of the problem in spreading COVID."
I think that's right. I mean, you're basically saying, look, we are a customer service organization. We're a city government.
Absolutely.
A lot of interactions with the public.
People don't have a choice. When they have to come deal with us, they come deal with us. They go face-to-face with us at a window, or we go into their house, or we're interacting with them outside, shaking their hand. I want to make sure that we're not part of the problem. And I'm sure like companies like NIPSCO are feeling the same way about this issue. where we're sending people into your house. Like, we got to be positive that
it's
we're
not just about protecting yourself. It's about protecting the people that you interact with, right?
So anyway, I'm not trying to target anybody. It's just we're in a pandemic and we need to pull together as a country. And quite frankly, I think that if people that people are going to want to fly, they're going to want to go to shows, they're going to want to do things. I think in the future, it's only going to tighten down. If you want to send your kids to public school, I mean, these are going to be issues.
I thought I saw Austria went on shutdown again.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, Austria did. Okay, yeah. It seems like it's it's winter's coming, so maybe that's.
I want John to know I wasn't targeting him. I wasn't
purposely. You didn't name it the John Vesmer.
I could
executive order.
I chose not to.
I had to mute my mic there for that. I didn't want to spout off and say anything. That would
Chris Campbell's not worried about his job.
Yeah, right. So anyway, sorry, John, if you feel bad about that, but hopefully everything gets worked out. So
maybe I'm starting to feel a smidge unwelcmed.
No. Really? No.
I'm not trying to. It started with the vote.
No.
Yeah, it started with the vote.
Sure?
No, don't get me wrong, Tom. It started with the poll. We did.
I'm talking about it work, John. I appreciate what you do at City of Hammond. All of us do. Everybody does. And I personally get worried about my friends that aren't vaccinated. I do. I have family members that aren't vaccinated. I worry about them also because I really think that this Delta variant it's out there and it's ugly. And I don't worry about myself because I got 3 shots. So if I get a breakthrough, man, it wasn't meant to be.
Or it's going to be mild.
It'll be mild, right?
I think that's right.
I'm not worried about myself. People are like, well, why aren't you wearing a mask then? I got 3 shots, dude. I'm not going to wear a mask. That's why I got the freaking shots, right? I got a shot, so I don't have to wear a damn mask. I hate wearing masks, right? But I got 3 shots, so I didn't have to. And like the people that are walking around maskless right now are insane, in my opinion. It's insane. You're playing with fire. You only get one life,
and you don't know how COVID's going to grab you. And that's what scares me.
Dude, we had a 52-year-old Hammond police officer in great shape, a cyclist, and just got knocked down and killed from COVID. Yeah. I had friends from the Navy, getting killed, people my age. It's like, why are we messing around with this? Why is this a political issue? Why? I got tons of shit yesterday for this from the Trump crowd. Oh, tyrant. You lost a vote for life. I've always supported you. I think you're a great mayor, but because you did this to your employees, I'll never vote for you again. It's like, what?
I don't.
You're not even an employee of mine. It's so stupid. Well, you're not going to vote for me because I want my employees to be vaccinated. So you lost my vote for life. That is insane and dumb. Quite frankly, I'm glad I don't have dumb people voting for me. Then, honestly, it's like that is the stupidest shit. Like, why do you support me if that is dumb?
Yeah,
I do. But I had people they reach
one
out.
decision of thousands, and they're not going to vote for you.
That's right.
All right. Well, let's have a little bit of fun before we end the season.
Sure, let's do it.
John, this is end of season 4. What was your favorite part of season 4?
This moment we're about to end.
John Salt and Pepper over the.
No, I'm good. It is exciting though. I jumped right out of bed this morning. I was just like,
it's it.
This is the finale.
I know. It's gonna be nice to take a couple breaks. I mean, we get a few hours a week back for us. Yeah.
I think some of the fun that we had over this season was just like the evolution of your campaign, your decision to run for Senate.
I was looking for.
Really fun.
I never really announced I was running. It just sort of happened.
Well, it happened because you said you were thinking it hit the Twitter sphere and it was boom.
Right.
It exploded.
But I guess I'll properly announce when we get the signatures turned in, right?
Right. When you're on the ballot.
Signatures are actually on the ballot, we'll have a big thing. But it just sort of happened. There was articles that appeared. I remember Adam Wren of Importantville was one of the first to talk about this publicly, and then there was a big Indy Star article. We talked about all this in season 4, by the way. And for those of you that are just starting to tune into our show, I know we picked up a lot of new followers during season 4. We have 120 of these episodes.
Yeah, something like that. We're getting there.
And there's literally a couple good ones out there.
A handful, yeah.
I think having Mayor Joe in the house was great.
Mayor Joe's appeared twice this season, right?
But I think just once a season, but live.
Yeah.
And that was really cool.
My favorite episode was 420.
That was great. I was going to say your announcement regarding marijuana was a big
That was 420, episode 420. And by the way, total coincidence that episode was season 4, episode 20. I swear.
Didn't know it until they said that on the chat.
I agree. That was the craziest part of that whole announcement.
I don't know if
people are like,
it
was totally set up.
Right.
Season 4, episode 20.
John, right? Until they said that on the chat, it had never entered my mind. And I, by the way, I type up some stuff before just for my notes, and I had put season 4, episode 20 did not even register.
I know.
Didn't register.
I know.
Huh.
Yeah.
So it was a good season.
To my friend I had lunch with, nobody had pictures of me smoking. That's why.
That's right.
We just made that announcement.
It was fun.
So, John, you didn't have a favorite part? You've been out of commission ever since that poll went down, dude. Seriously?
John's in a deep depression.
Like you put these polls out, it goes against you, and then you're silent the rest of the show.
I think Mayor Joe's appearance here, that was a more recent one. That was a really good one. It was just a great conversation. A lot of times I think we only have an hour, so we got to kind of rush through some things. But you guys really took your time, and it was a great convo. So
yeah, I agree.
People that didn't see that one, go back and watch it on, listen to it on Apple Pod.
That's another thing, right, John? That Tom and I, we all talk about this. That when we're off on our week, we're taking our breaks. It's always fun to go back and listen to some prior episodes, and there's some really good ones.
I like listening to the episodes like in season 1 and season 2. They're good. That one episode that was really good this season 4, episode 9, the N bomb.
That was another good one.
That was something that happened to me. That was a really tough one. Yeah,
I
remember I got a lot of emails and texts after.
I got a lot of thank yous. Like,
yeah, no,
like,
it was.
I think a good topic.
It is a good topic. It's like, what do you do in public when somebody says something completely inappropriate to you, and you're like, obviously you don't feel that way, and they say something, and I was mad at myself because I just sat there like a dummy and I didn't say anything, and I should have. At that time, after analysis, we determined on the show that I should have blown up the conversation, and instead I sat there like a dummy, just like. Stunned.
But not that's not unusual.
I know.
Think. I mean,
I was just stunned.
Correct.
I know. I was just stunned that somebody would drop that like that in front of me.
Interesting stuff. So that was another good one. But listen to the old ones.
Why? What was your favorite?
I like the whole season.
You're looking at me like you're wrapping up already.
The whole season.
Kevin gave me that look like, okay.
I told you my favorite part was kind of just the evolution of the campaign and being able to listen as things kind of ramped up. Like getting staff, going on the road, having seen people, getting your speech going.
The whole evolution of the campaign. If there was a theme to season 4, I think that would be the theme, right? Is the campaign ramps up. Yeah. Really? I mean, out of 20-something episodes, is that the theme? Is like, because it started at the beginning of the season. Remember we did Todd Young was in the studio at the end of season 3, right?
Yes, that was the finale.
And in the boxing
I wasn't running against him. Time it was a celebrity boxing match.
So yeah,
and he turned me down. If he would have just taken me on in the boxing match, I probably wouldn't be running right now.
Maybe it depends who kicked whose ass, right?
If he kicked my ass in a celebrity boxing match, I couldn't run against him. That'd have embarrassed me.
Could have been an easy way for him to nip this in the bud.
Right, he could have nipped this whole thing in the bud right there. Right. Instead, he dodges me on it because he was scared. Let's be honest. He dodges me. Yeah. Freaking Marine gets challenged by a Navy guy to a celebrity boxing match.
That could be the first time ever.
And he dodges me.
That could be the first time ever.
So like right then I started getting some confidence. I'm like, this guy's scared of me, right? Right off the bat. And then now I'm running against him, right? Yep. All Todd Young has to do is accept my offer to celebrity box match me back last summer when I was in good shape.
It's pretty risky on his part, though. If he loses.
Yeah. I beat him down in front of everybody, and I'm like, King Kong. Like,
see?
Now I'm running against him, right?
I'm the locomotive.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow. You brought this on yourself, Todd Young.
Todd Young, all he has to do is accept.
Risky though, because if he loses, then all of a sudden like the polls like shift, like whoa,
they're like whoa, this McDermott guy's got a hook.
He's pretty tough, man.
Look at that uppercut.
I'm voting for him.
I like this guy.
Alpha male.
I wonder if he's ever smoked weed.
That's right. They would find out. All they have to do is 20 episodes later, I would clear that up for him.
That was a good one.
I'm going skiing in Michigan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You never know what's going to happen if I'm in Michigan, right?
Oh.
Is that like your little code? I'm going skiing in Michigan.
Isn't it funny, though, places I go on vacation? I go on vacation in California, hang with my family and my friends.
Well,
right?
You should. That's where your family is.
I go to skiing in Colorado and the Rockies, right?
You haven't lately.
I know.
Utah.
I have. Utah.
That doesn't count.
That does not count. It's nothing's legal in Utah.
Florida.
You can't even look at like girly magazines are illegal in Utah.
New York.
I don't really go to. I mean, I haven't been to New York in a couple of years. Actually, Marissa reminds me of that.
Oh,
yeah.
You better get there.
I know. And then, and I go to Michigan a lot. So.
All right.
Love you guys. Miss you all. Kevin
Finale.
gets freaking ADD after an hour.
But well, right when it turned 8:31, he's looking at you like, cut this thing.
He's like an hourly worker punching out, I swear.
I didn't look at my own clock, John. It's like an internal clock.
It is an internal clock.
You know how you get up early?
I know.
We talked about 6 a.m.
But you gave me the body language.
Must be 8:30.
Kevin gives me this look like this. He's like, we're done. We're done. Wrap it up.
Tom usually gives the hands. Like Tom's usually like this.
No, I do. I do body language if I feel we're digging in. That's mine.
Like you're
like we're digging in. We digging a little too much.
You're in the weeds, Kevin.
Right?
Come on out.
Pull out. That's the nice way to give you a hand signal. Like
this
you're
is
going
my
a little
nice
deeper.
way to.
Right. No, shut the hell up.
But Kevin got me thinking, like, the episodes that ramped up to something were pretty cool. Like, there was the French Lick one, right? The memories from that were just awesome. And then, like, the ramping up to our recall bet for California,
that was
Newsom.
Good. I mean,
we talked about that for a while, and it just came to a head, and obviously I lost.
John, wasn't the didn't we do a remote? We did it in French Lick, right? That was the remote.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
That was season 3.
No.
Yes.
Was it?
No.
Yes, we did the vlog.
No.
Season. Yes, we did.
No, that's
season
August.
3.
We've been going since July.
It was season 3.
Uh-oh.
Season 3.
Wow.
You're right.
Thank you. It's season 3.
Wait,
I'm an expert.
When did we
on
start again? I thought we'd been going
we
since
did it,
July.
We did it like a couple weeks after LOCPOD ended, and we did that.
You're
French
right. It was in the middle. We counted
season 3.
season 3. You're right.
Wow, I know.
That's why you're the locomotive.
That's right. Sometimes I'm right.
You're
Marissa
right
said
there.
that to me about something the other day. She said, "Honey, you were totally right about this issue." And I said, "It happens sometimes." Sometimes I'm right.
Well, actually, funny thing you said last night at the council meeting, you're like, I usually don't think I make a lot of, mistakes, but if you ask Marissa, she'll tell you how many I make. That got a good chuckle out of it.
I know, but honestly, though,
crowd.
I think it's incumbent upon elected officials to admit they make mistakes. Mm-hmm. I do it a lot. And, like, I don't know if it's viewed as weak or if it's viewed as, like, being sincere.
I think it's being honest and
it is being
realistic.
honest.
I mean, you're
Of
human.
course I make mistakes, Like I always, this is not the biggest mistake I made in Robertsdale either. If you remember, I wanted to put up a Statue of Liberty. That was probably the biggest mistake. Whatever, dude. It is. It's part of my history.
We don't talk about that.
It's funny. It's funny. I can look back and laugh on it, by the way.
Yes. Season 4, Todd Young's Playbook.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
No, this may be a shocker, Tom, coming from a conservative. But I don't agree with everything that goes on here. But I will say, when you guys were talking about what happened last night, it just goes, why is Congress approval level so low? Because the people don't think they listen to the voters.
Yeah.
And this is the perfect example of you were going one direction and you changed your mind because you listened to the voters.
That doesn't happen enough in government, right, John?
Never
Especially in the national level.
Never see that
Especially in the
happening.
national
Let me
level.
tell you, like standing up in front of my voters last night and telling them that I made a horrible mistake, that I made a mistake. I should have stopped this. I knew when I signed it, it was probably not a good idea, and I still did it. That sucked. That sucked last night. That sucks to do. It's hard to do, but I think it shows that I'm trying my best as their mayor to do what's right for them. That's what I'm trying to do. It's not an act. This is what I'm paid to do, and I made a mistake.
And I think it was a good. I think it was a good public showing of how a mayor is supposed to do things when there's tough decisions to make.
Yeah.
It'd been easier for you to. It would be so much easier to say like, city planner or city, corporation counsel or chief of staff, go in there and tell them that we're going to, change course or we're sorry,
or just say screw you, we're doing it.
Or dig in,
or dig in,
right, or dig in,
right,
and realize the only way out of this. Because I did a quick analysis of the situation. Once I realized I made a horrible mistake, I'm like, what do you do at this point? Either I have to totally acknowledge that what I did was what my team did was wrong, and we made a mistake, or I just double down on it and just build them. Because the new houses would have been nice. I know they would have been nice.
Gorgeous.
But like I decided to take the honest route out.
Or I think take the route that you thought was best for your community.
And by the way, I think my residents appreciated it. They all shook my
applauded.
hand. They walked out, they shook my hand, and they were happy. And even the councilman of the first district, who doesn't support me or like me very much, he even sort of like nodded to me like, thank you for
Well, these
doing
are
the right
issues
thing.
that you got to, it goes beyond whether you like each other, right? It's about what's best for the community.
We were both on the firing squad. That's one thing we both had in common, but I've known this gentleman for a long time, and I know he doesn't support me or like me. He goes out of his way to try to make me look bad, which is fine. But last night, he like tipped his cap to me, and I get it because I ate it, man. And I didn't blame him. I didn't blame anybody. I ate it. I took it all on myself, and I'll deal with my team afterwards. No, seriously, I'll do that when the limelight's turned off. I'll tell my team how bad they dropped the ball on this, and they did. Okay, but like last night in public, I took all the blame. So
all right.
So if you
Thank
are
you for
at
doing
that
that.
staff meeting on Monday, just
good
call
luck.
in sick.
Staff meetings have been rough lately.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I am in that
Are you?
Oh, no,
Sorry.
Jill.
Sorry, Jill.
I'm already
Yeah.
feeling
So.
a little woozy.
Love you guys. Thanks
Pothead.
for being our pothead. Yeah, right.
Do be smoking,
Caffeine.
yes, man.
Do be smoking, yes, man. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. Thanks to our audience. We love you guys very much, and we appreciate it when you tell us you're LOCPODers. I appreciate it a lot because when you say I'm a LOCPODer, I know exactly who you are. We know you listen. We had Jeff Long in the studio, and he's like, the Left of Center podcast.
LOCPOD.
The
You're like,
LOC
well, Jeff's
sure.
not a LOCPODer.
That's right. So that's how you introduce yourself to us. Hey, I'm a LOCPODer. Nice to see you. We appreciate you. Jill, thank you for filling in so much this season. I'm looking forward to being back next season. Lindsay told me last night she'll be able to stick to the Friday schedule next season easier.
Beautiful.
So, but I appreciate you covering for her. We appreciate you being here very much. Thank you, Jill.
For sure.
Jay Vez, thanks, man.
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
you a lot. Love you, man. You do a great job for us, and we all know it. I'm glad you do have a backup, because if something does happen where you're not here, it's great to have Chris come in, but we appreciate you, John, a lot. Kevin Smith, you're the man. Love working with you. Can't wait to see you again in 2022, because I'm gone, dude. You're not going to see me for
See
6
you
weeks.
next year.
I'm not even giving you a Christmas present, nothing.
All
What the hell is that
That's
noise?
cool.
We better get off
This
here.
is
All
a
right.
Christmas
Thanks,
present.
everybody.
This is the Christmas present.
Love you from LOCPOD. We appreciate you, and we'll see you in 2022. Happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah, everything. Kwanzaa, all that. We love you guys, and I will talk to you in 2022. Take care.